Moshi Moshi, and greetings once again. Today we tackle something that no one really has pointed out before. My favorite show of all times is Transformers, hands down. And Transformers just so happens to have heavy ties with My Little Ponies. It kind of surprises me that no one has really talked about how well the two shows mirror each other with their characters. Now, MLP came out around the same time as Transformers did. My Little Pony was supposed to be the girl counterpart for Transformers back when they both came out. The thing was, My Little Pony's writing was lacking a lot and blatantly was about selling toys. Well, Transformers has always had good characters, characterization, and storytelling. Thus being the reason Transformers is like on its 10th generation, while My Little Ponies is on its 4th. So, My Little Ponies is like Transformers' little sister, and they've finally caught up on their ability to make good characters and have good storytelling skills. The closeness of the two shows is actually seen with a Transformers reference in Equestria Girls. Thank you, Pinkie Pie. So I don't think that it would be that hard to imagine that MLP may have had some inspiration from their big brother. Oh, and just to be clear, I'm only comparing My Little Pony's Friendship is Magic characters to characters from Generation 1 of Transformers. Why don't we start with the most well-known character of Transformers on the Autobot side, Optimus Prime? Many would automatically think I would compare Twilight Sparkle to him, but no, not at all. I would actually compare him to Princess Celestia. Thing is, they both are leaders who never lose their composure, or if they do, it's very rare, and often seen as a mentor to everyone around them. Twilight you could compare to the pre-Prime version of Optimus Prime, which was Orion Pax, but in my opinion, she can be compared more to Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime. Hot Rod was, well, personality-wise, not like Twilight. He was a bit more of a rebel, I do admit, but he saw Optimus as a big mentor and was one who tried to impress him by being the best warrior he could be. Then him becoming a Prime is like Twilight getting her wings. They both now put into a new role seen as higher, having to take on a task they did not have to do before. Both extremely concerned with not living up to their expectations and letting their mentors down. Then Spike could be compared to the human Spike of Transformers' son, Danny. Danny was very close with Rodimus Prime, and one of my favorite moments between the two would be in the episode Nightmare Planet. The one who can soothe young Danny from a nightmare is Rodimus Prime, like Twilight would comfort Spike. Though if you did compare Twilight more to Orion Pax / Optimus Prime, that would make Flash Sentry Ariel / Alita 1. I mean, they both only show up in one episode. Okay, so Flash Sentry technically is shown 3 times, one in the show, and he was in both movies. But in the show, he was kind of just an extra. And Alita 1 technically appeared in 2 episodes. Once as Alita 1, and once when the Aerial Bots went back in time to meet Optimus before he was a Prime, aka Orion Pax, and his girlfriend Ariel, who later becomes Alita. Wait, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, Princess Luna can be seen sort of like Ultra Magnus, who is a character often seen sort of a brother to Optimus and or a second in command. Ultra Magnus is the type who's a stickler for rules, which, when Luna first returns, we see she seems to strictly follow what the customs were and still uses old language. Rarity often reminds me of Trax. Both her and Trax are kind of fashionistas and care for their appearance, not to mention their love for the city. Yet both both will never second guess their decision to help a friend. Fluttershy, who loves nature and animals. Well, believe it or not, in Transformers episode The Golden Lagoon, we see the very same traits in Beachcomber. Both Beachcomber and Fluttershy are very meek, yet very patient and kind. Up next, Rainbow Dash, which kind of reminds me of two different Autobots. One being the ever-so-flashy Sunstreaker, while the other being Powerglide. Both, like Rainbow, were ready to charge headfirst into anything, but they're very loyal to those they care for. Powerglide is an aerial ace in the sky, and he's the first Autobot we see transforming into a plane, and he loves to do daredevilish stunts. Sunstreaker is 1/4, as Rainbow Dash would say, 20% cooler, and he too loves doing stupid stunts. Next is Applejack, who is pretty easy. Applejack is hardworking, yet very prideful, such as Ironhide. Both could keep their heads clear in an emergency and definitely hold up to the element of honesty. What's even cooler, they both react to failure in the same way. They take it really hard and start questioning if they're good enough to be doing what they're doing. And both have a hard time asking for help. Oh, and they're both kind of southern too, but that's not really a big deal. Next, Pinkie Pie would most resemble, believe it or not, Bumblebee. That little buggy has always been the morale of the team and always first to befriend humans, such as Pinkie Pie, who is the unannounced welcome committee of Ponyville. Both Bee and Pinkie are energetic, and you can't help but smile when they're on screen. Now, let's get on to some of the villains. The most recent villain, Terrak, comes to my mind first, being a trickster with a silver tongue. He could easily be seen as the beloved Decepticon Starscream, minus the whining, of course. That's Rarity's job. And Terrak's brother, Scorpion, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce his name right, could be seen as Skyfire due to the fact that Skyfire was a scientist with Starscream and was a Decepticon because Starscream, but saw the Autobots as good and switched sides, just like Terrak's brother joined sides with the ponies. Sombart doesn't have much character to him, but the design kind of reminds me of Megatron. Queen Chrysalis, I think, suits Megatron much better, considering she actually has an army, and uses other ponies like Megatron uses people. Not to mention that one episode Megatron pretended to be Optimus Prime and was pretty convincing until the real Optimus Prime showed up. You hear that, Megatron? You're being beaten by a pony. Queen Chrissy over here at least banished the real version in some place that took 2 people to get out of. All you did was throw Prime in a ditch. Now, Discord. He can be seen as either Retguard, the Junkticon, due to how crazy Junkticons are, and man, all those references those guys make. Or a Quintesson, which were the makers of Transformers and ruled with a dictatorship until the machines became sentient and revolted against them, kind of like the Princess Celestia and Luna revolted against Discord. I could continue the list on forever, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Perhaps you see resemblance in other generations of Transformers. That's it for this video. I'm kuso-ka, and I'll be waiting for the thrills and spills. See you next time!